Hello, I'm Bliznub, and welcome to Building the Best. Today we're going to be looking at the Poseidon, a shiny new weapon bestowed upon us by the Lotus, in exchange for one of our amphises, which, if you didn't know, is way up the list. This shiny thing, which, in my opinion, is an infinitely funnier weapon to play, but this one's still pretty good. So anyhow, what we have here is actually the highest puncture damage weapon in the game currently, which is fantastic, especially considering that it is a staff, and staffs are inherently very fast and hard hitting. So this 0.9 attack speed actually is pretty damn good. Comparatively, the Cero has, I believe, about 0.9. Actually, you know what, I'm not even going to speculate, I'm just going to show you. The Cero has the same attack speed, and that thing is fantastic. And arguably, the Cero has the same damage as the Poseidon, which makes this very interesting to build, because obviously there are less punctured mods than there are elemental mods. But if you look at my page B, you can see there are still plenty of puncture damage mods. So what we're going for is basically a pure damage build, of course. The Poseidon does have massive status chance, but I'll show you in a second why I'm not going to be using that for this particular build. So, of course, we start off with Pressure Point and Spoil Strike to buff up our damage to hideous proportions. And then we have August Strike, if you have it, Rending Strike, and Sundering Strike to get our puncture damage up to insane quantities. Then, of course, we have Fury to offset Spoiled Strike, Primed Reach because it's a staff. This thing has insane amounts of reach. It will hit things in different rooms to you. You should take reach on it. And then we have Northwind to buff up our damage a little bit. Now, the reason I'm not using the status chance here is because I made a status chance page that you can see here, and we got, roughly speaking, the same amount of damage, just split between 3 different elements with a 70% status chance, and objectively that's better. Objectively, that is better, but if you look at my B page, you can see that having an awful lot of puncture is actually very, very good if you're going up against just Grineer. Whereas if you come over here, having 2 different kinds of element, a combined and a standard, or if you want to drop August Strike, 2 combined elements, you can make it very good against any kind of enemy, but it won't be fantastic against them, whereas the B page with the puncture is just fantastic against Grineer. So, it was a toss-up, and I'm going for the puncture page, because I prefer to have more of a single element when given the choice. I feel that that works better. And you can, you know, if you're going up against Grineer, take the puncture weapon. If you're going up against Corpus, take a different weapon, the Jack Katag for impact, for instance. But moving on, a lot of people frequently comment that my builds are, how can I put this, a bit too difficult to obtain. For instance, August Strike here. I will accept that 90% of the players do not own this mod, especially the ones who didn't start playing until a couple months ago. But anyhow, August Strike is very, very difficult to obtain, so if you can't get August Strike, I would highly recommend you replace that and Northwind with 2 of the status chance element mods. And equally, if you prefer this page, which is very similar, but you can't get August Strike or Voltaic Strike. Wait, no, you can get Voltaic. Which one is it that's hard to get? One of these 4 is difficult to get. You can fill in the blanks with the punch damage mod. So I'm basically saying take a bit from column A and a bit from column B, and this build will be fantastic. But personally, I'm going for pure puncture on this thing because I have that as an option and because I think it will be amazing. So let's take this thing out, and of course, it's a why is my Warframe visible on my back? That's not a thing I should do in a video. Go away, Warframe. You're not till next week. Anyhow, as it is a trident, we are of course taking out Captain Hydroid and his fantastic tricorn, because you just have to. I mean, you just have to. We're playing with a trident here. This weapon does insane amounts of damage, and really it is just a puncture damage version of the Cero, where the Cero is, of course, an electric weapon. Now, The one thing I will say about staffs generally is that their combos suck. There is only one combo that actually means you have to do anything other than mash E on each of the two stances, and they're crap. They are absolutely awful. And so, yeah. D, get your shit together. We need more staff stances. The current ones are terrible. So I'm just going to be using this unequipped because, honestly, the over-the-head swing that happens, this just clears a path through enemies. It really does. We can see here that Captain Hydroid is just slaughtering these poor innocent scrub Grenier. And there is nothing they can do about it. And the occasional cold procs do of course help, as we are running a melee and being able to freeze enemies in place. That's generally a good thing when you want them to be nice and close to you. So we can see there is very little surviving a hit from this weapon, although to be fair, I've yet to see a bombard. So, ow, now I'm on fire. That's not terribly now. Ow, okay, so that eviscerator, to be fair, took 3 hits. You're sitting on a piece of burning metal. Excuse me 1 second, please. My new dog is not as bright as my old one. And oh. And he's going to die because I choose him over me. So anyhow. This weapon is dealing fairly handily with absolutely everything that I swing it against. Although, I will say that I tried it out in the sortie today, which happened to be against Corpus, and the weapon just couldn't hold up. And I tried it with the Elemental page I showed, and it still couldn't really hold up. And I know what you're going to say, it was in... what was it, in Radiation Cold or something? Radiation Toxin. No, I did have it adjusted for Corpus, and it still didn't really meet my expectations. And considering that this weapon is directly comparable to the Cero, I don't think it's ever going to meet my expectations when it comes to being a Corpus or Infested killer. But as far as killing Grenier goes, this weapon is second to none as far as melee weapons go. And that, I think, is its biggest selling point, apart from the fact that it is a damn trident. This thing looks epic. And quite frankly, I know you've got to trade in an Amphis for it, but that you weren't really using that weapon. I know you stuck a Former in it because you thought maybe one day it would be nice, but no. Turn it into a Poseidon. I promise you won't regret it. This weapon is a lot of fun. Anyhow, I am having to chase down Grenier because for some reason I'm still not detected, and they're spawning in funny. So I guess I'm going to sign off the moment I find a bombard that I can demonstrate this weapon on. Which will be... okay, I was really hoping there would be one in this room. That is very disappointing. Come on. Bombard, please. Seriously, though. I am slaughtering you in droves. Would someone please notice me? Ah, a bombard. You know what? That's a fairly good ending to this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry this one has been a bit weird. Anyhow, thank you very much again. Please like and comment below and subscribe if you want to see more. I am Captain Hydroid, and this is, of course, the Poseidon. Thank you.